Hello. So it is August 7th, 2020, and we have been on the road for 85 days. We left Texas on May 14th, and we started this adventure of living in an RV and traveling across the United States. And Jacob is riding his bicycle across the country as well. So he left May 23rd from North Carolina, and here we are in Stanley, Idaho. And Karina has some questions for all of us we're going to be answering so that we can remember in posterity.
Okay, so where did you guys get the inspiration to do this trip?
Well, no, I think that I just got this desire to so kind of put everything on pause and take time off to go enjoy time together as a family. Jacob and I have had plenty of opportunity to travel through our careers and just for fun as well. So we wanted to take the kids along to have full-time traveling and exploration time. And we decided that this is the right time because of the kids' ages. We decided that this is the right time to just take a little bit of time of work and just go do some other things that are fun.
Okay, what was surprisingly easy and surprisingly hard in planning this trip, and what would you have done differently? Austin?
I probably would have gotten rid of your stuff. I mean, I don't know, how much, what you guys think, but for me, I definitely brought a lot of stuff that I've never used. I could
Okay, I think that it has been very easy to find places to stay, and that was a little bit of a surprise. I thought that it was going to be more of a challenge to find places to stay, so that has been pretty easy. The one part that I didn't expect to be, it's not that it's difficult, but it's a little bit more difficult than I thought would be to find maybe high quality food, I would say, in some of the areas that we have been. We have been going through a lot of rural areas that may be considered food deserts, or that we have had to hold on into getting high quality groceries and things like that.
Yeah, I think what's been easiest is just the flexibility of our trip, and the route has made everything very easy. And then I think even though starting out we didn't really have a fixed route in mind, we just kind of wanted to go from the Atlantic to the Pacific, and so we've changed the route I don't know how many times since we started planning. I think we're on the 10th iteration of planning where we're going. So we just kind of basically go wherever we want to go, and I think that's made a lot of things easier and facilitated a lot of the finding places to stay, things like that. Yeah.
I think I kind of agree with Austin that I should have brought less, maybe pencils and pens and coloring stuff, and more clothes, because we don't get to do laundry a lot. So I think I just I should have planned differently. Yeah. Okay. How has COVID-19 changed your travel and its plans?
So have you felt anything that's different from your
I was
expectations?
actually kind of looking forward to, starting up in New York, and I was hoping that I'd get to see, kind of a goal that I had in mind was try to see as many football stadiums as possible, NFL football stadiums, and so far we're still at 0.
I think that same thing. We had hopes at the beginning that we could go visit some of the large cities in Washington D.C., New York, and some others along the way. I think that we have had in general very positive experience with interactions with other people at campsites. However, I had read and heard from other people that very open and friendly community in campsites, I think, even though it has been something positive for us, is maybe not the way that it could have been the pandemic not being if the pandemic wasn't happening. So we have made friends, but maybe not as many as we would have otherwise.
And let me say, in addition to, I think, avoiding the big cities, I think the other end of the bookend, the other end of the bookshelf there is the small cities, and that I think there's been a huge change in a lot of the small towns too, and then most of them are, we've driven through countless just tiny towns they're now ghost towns. They're shut down and completely closed. And I think, biking through there, I had in mind, being able to stop at diners and having, milkshakes and apple pie and things like that. And largely I've eaten, Hostess cupcakes and donuts and basically gas station food, because gas stations are the only thing that's open. So I think we've missed out on, a lot of that local dining experience, and even a lot of the local culture, because a lot of these towns are just they're closed down. You're more likely to find a town that's completely closed down than you are to find a town that has any stores open in it at all. And that's been, I think, it's kind of surprising to me.
And I was kind of looking forward to one starting in New York, since me and Mommy we were looking forward to a really nice class ARV. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
Up in New York. And number 2, I was also looking forward to seeing Mount Rushmore, but
Next trip.
yeah.
The next one, yeah.
I've definitely noticed that a lot of things that I would have liked to seen are closed. Like, I remember in one town, there was a cool horse riding place, but it was closed for COVID. But other than that, I think that you guys probably answered everything. A lot of stuff has been closed, and the ghost, and like the small towns have become ghost towns now.
Like that town with 7 people.
What were some of the things that you had to pack when you were packing for this trip, and what was the hardest thing to give up?
Oh no.
Things that
I
you
have
to
to
give
think
up.
of.
That you had to pack, but like, oh my gosh, I cannot leave without this. And what was the hardest thing that was like, I have to give this up?
Okay.
One thing I felt like I really had to pack was like my I really wanted to like pack bikes on the trip, but I also had a lot of trouble giving up my road bike, which I loved a lot. That was kind of tough. But other than that, it was okay.
But I think one thing that we had to pack, and I'm glad that we packed, was the mocha to make coffee, and I think having our own bedding and our own plates and things like that have helped things feel, like home. And I don't know, maybe the hardest thing to give up for a trip like this one is maybe a little bit of the privacy.
All of it, maybe.
Yeah,
All-
you don't
all
have
of
your own
it.
room anymore.
Yeah.
This trailer.
Yeah.
So I think I'll echo Austin's comment. I really wanted to bring my other bicycle through the time trial bike for windy days across Kansas, but it just, there wasn't space. And I think we did a good job at the end of, packing up the trailer and saying, okay, we have this much space. This stuff can't go. This stuff can't go. So that was a hard decision. I think the thing that I miss most is probably the coffee machine. We've had success with the mocha, but I do miss our espresso machine that we had in Fort Worth.
Okay, the hardest thing to give up was me and Karina used to write like tons and tons and tons of letters to each other.
Yeah.
At East Park Drive, and I just like couldn't give those up. A must-have item was Kiko.
Yeah.
One thing that was definitely a must-have pack for me was, I know at the beginning we were still thinking about it, but was Panda. And I'm very glad we brought Panda. We brought Panda. Yeah. We brought Panda, and I'm very glad we did. And then the hardest thing was to give up was privacy.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. What has surprised you the most on the trip so far?
I'm right here, so I have to I have to think about it like it's.
Oh, do you wanna? I can answer.
I don't.
Reverse.
We can reverse.
I
We
wanna
can keep
go.
reversing. Okay, I think just how smooth it's been. Because I thought we'd have like more trouble either like finding spots or finding restaurants, food, and stuff to do. But it's all been like surprisingly smooth. So that's very good.
I think for me, it's been just how smoothly the logistics of the RV transport have been, and I can say that because I largely don't do any of it. But I leave in the morning to bike, and somehow magically the RV gets packed up and transported to the next campsite, and everything's set up. And usually there's food and water, waiting when I get there, and it all just seems to happen magically.
Yeah.
And that surprises me quite a bit. So yeah.
We're more talented than you think we are.
For me, I have to say I was a little bit hesitant at the beginning when I revisited in my head many times.